think of a bicycle, and the front wheel of the bicycle are front wheel skills that are specific to whatever industry you're in, the technical skills of the business that you're in. So it might be product development or sales and marketing or general management or finance or engineering, manufacturing, quality assurance. If you're a medical company, it might be medical skills, nursing, whatever it might be. The technical skills that are important to whatever business and whatever industry you're in. And the rear wheel, think of it as an old-fashioned bike with a small wheel up front and a big wheel in the back. The rear wheel are the attributes or capacities of individuals or collectively of the organization. I think I just finally read that. You know, the capacities within you are phenomenal if you only knew how to release them. Those are the capacities that make the person, the professional, or the business go, propels the business forward.
So they're like the horsepower.
They're the horsepower, the energy behind, and it's what makes the front wheel skills come alive and allows them to move forward. In the scenario that in the scenario that Barb was pointing to in my business, where I took over a very troubled business, kind of a little bit tricked into it. You know, it needed a tune-up, but it really didn't need a tune-up. It needed an overhaul. Well, I brought all the front wheel skills. I had done a lot of training and a lot of development. I'd been to every charm school imaginable. I'd done all the developments, the sales training and the marketing training and the development training, engineering training, had all that. And I had access in a very large company to the best practice, best in the world techniques and methods that go along with those front wheel skills. And I rolled them out, you know. And as I rolled them out, not only did we not do better, in many respects, we went backwards. We were doing worse. And I got pretty overwhelmed by that. And the business I had taken over was kind of the main business in the core of this corporation. You know, it was what is it? Crown jewel. That is exactly the term I was looking for. It was the crown jewel of that company, and I was putting it out of business.
And you can see the logic of it. Like, Don came in and he looked at the front wheel and he said, look, there's a finite number of skills needed in here. All right? So you got your team building, you got your strategic planning, there's a finite number. So he said, I will bring in the best state-of-the-art people in I can afford to bring in the best people in every single one of these finite skills and bring them in. And when I get done, I should have a finished, that front wheel should work absolutely fantastic. So that was the logic of it.
And that's what I thought it needed, and that's what I did. And it wasn't until I met George, and then ultimately a who's who in the Three Principles world of characters who came and infiltrated my business for many, many years at all levels.
You had said professionals rather.
You couldn't swing a baseball bat without hitting 5 Pransky and Associates people.
That's right. Yeah.
And George taught me about the rear wheel. And he taught me about the personal attributes of humility and clarity of mind and compassion and all of the things we've been talking about the last several days. And then once we talked about them as an individual, as an individual thing, we started creating a culture. And you wrap all of that into a workforce that ultimately touched 6,000 people or more. And so in talking about what we might talk about today, think that the most critical thing from a business perspective for all of you folks to understand is the implications of that rear wheel and the implications of what a healthy culture can do for your company. And I just I didn't have a real appreciation for the human dimension. I didn't have a real appreciation for that rear wheel. And then once I saw it, I got new eyeballs, totally new eyeballs. And for those that were in our breakout yesterday, I mean, my attention went from all of the front wheel details of the business to almost exclusively the rear wheel cultural aspects, to the point where I had to scramble to get my act together on the front wheel stuff to go report to the corporation every quarter, you know. And that was a major shift. Everything was focused on the health and well-being and the culture and state of mind of the company. So George and I sat down and we started talking about the attributes of a healthy culture. What are the attributes of a healthy culture? What are the implications of those attributes of a healthy culture to the performance of the business, and how do they tangibly impact the bottom line? And we started collecting. And when I was on my third sheet of engineering pad, you know, we were surprised ourselves at how many there were. I mean, we worked together in my business. We've worked with other companies, and George has worked with God knows how many companies. And even we were surprised at how many attributes, implications, and then how they impacted the bottom line. It's really eye-opening for us.